Hey everybody, it's me, Angel Benton, and it is time for another edition of Angel Sudsy Recap, where we delve into the world of daytime television and we do a few reality shows on the side for now. And one of those reality shows that, in fact, the only reality show that I'm doing left, the only one I've got left is, this one is Below Deck Med. And, okay, I can't wait to talk about this, but before I get into that, FYI, I'm still here in Fall River, Massachusetts. It rained today, but it was fine because it didn't actually rain on me. We were actually out at dinner. We had finished our day, a long day of training, and then we had a nice dinner, just literally right next door to the hotel. We walked next door to the hotel. We're having dinner, and then it just started pouring. We're like, oh, it's like, oh my God, is it seriously? But then we just stayed, had dessert, and then came back, and then it was fine. So it was great. It was actually really lovely. I am having the best time this week. It's going to be great. Next week will probably not be that great, but just because I'm going to be working late nights next week, so it's fine. Okay, so let's talk about Below Deck Med. So, okay, here's the thing. One of the things that I like the most about both Below Deck and Below Deck Med is that both casts of both shows are very active on Twitter. And not just that, but they're active even during each other's show. Because, the way Bravo does it is they have Below Deck airing, and then they have, when Below Deck is filming their next season, they're airing Below Deck Med, because that was filming when they were airing Below Deck. So it goes back and forth. And they both watch each other's shows, and they both comment all the time. In fact, that's one of the reasons why one of my absolute favorite podcasts is the After Deck with Kate Chastain. But she hasn't really done a whole lot for Below Deck Med this season. But God, okay, so what I like to do, because I'm all caught up on the show right now, even though I'm a little bit behind on the episodes of the recaps, I'm telling you, I am all caught up on the show. And let me tell you something. My favorite thing to do is literally just turn on Twitter 3 hours before the show airs, because it would be airing on the East Coast. Just sit back and watch the timeline go, because I follow most everyone involved with that show, and I will literally just sit there and laugh. I mean, it is the greatest. Like, I've already talked about how much I love Kate Chastain's tweets, even during Below Deck Med. I think she's hysterical. Captain Lee cracks me up. Captain Lee is hilarious. Hannah Ferrier, hilarious. I mean, everyone involved is just so, they're all great entertainment even after the fact, I've got to say. Do I look fat? I promise you I haven't put on any weight. In fact, I've been exercising more and more every single week. Although I haven't found I did find a Crunch here. That reminds me, I need to look up and see if Crunch here has pole dancing class. That's actually where I started my Crunch pole dancing journey, at Crunch in Sunset. And the only reason why I did that was because Crunch was the only place that would accept boys at that time. Now lots of guys can go anywhere, but yeah, that was rough. Anyways, it's like 2006, excuse me. Okay, so the reason why I'm mentioning this whole Twitter thing is that recently, and it wasn't so much this week as it was last week, because I wanted to talk about this last week, but I had forgotten. So what had happened was, okay, let's talk about Below Deck Med. Season 1, third stew, Tiffany Copeland, right? Who, at the time, Hannah didn't hate her, but she wasn't her favorite third stew. Now, of these 3 seasons, she might be her favorite third stew out of those 3 seasons. I'm just saying. But they get along fine now, and they're actually really close. So, Tiffany was only on the 1 season. And, Captain Sandy didn't join until season 2. Season 1, that captain was Captain Mark. So, Tiffany continues to tweet during the show and give her commentary as a viewer, So she asked, And in all fairness, I don't think it was a malicious question. I really don't. But she said, are all the guests, all the charter guests, Captain Sandy's friends this season? Because Captain Sandy has had a lot of friends this particular season taking charters. Now, on the one hand, I see her point because, you know, Captain Lee, I hate to compare Captain Lee and Captain Sandy because they're both great captains. I don't want to take anything away from either one of them. However, on the show, if Captain Lee has a friend come on the show, it is one friend per season, pretty much. That's how he rolls, right? He had that last season. He had Leanne from, what was that movie that Sandra Bullock was in? I don't know, the one about the football player, that Blind Side. Yeah, I mean, she was the real life lady who came on, and she's friends with Captain Lee, and that was it. You know, and then he has one friend per season. This season we've had a lot of friends of Sandy, you know, charter the boats. And this has nothing to do with anything, but they've all left really crappy tips. So, okay, but I don't blame Sandy for that, because that's kind of weird, though, for her friends. I mean, if I was friends with someone and I knew every move was being recorded for television, I would want to come off looking like a fucking big baller. I would leave the biggest tip possible, right? Instead of, you know, a crap tip. I mean, you know what I mean? It's just kind of, I don't know. My teeth are looking really good. God. Okay, sorry. All right. So Captain Sandy, you know, so Tiffany just asked, you know, she didn't even at Captain Sandy. She just made the comment. She's like, are all of Captain Sandy's friends coming on this season? And Captain Sandy went off. She went off on Twitter. She was like, Tiffany, before you come to me, you got to come correct, blah, blah, blah. I mean, it was almost like a Housewives of Atlanta reunion. And she was like, who's coming for you? I just asked if everyone on this season was your friend. That's it. And then Sandy's like, Tiffany, that's not true. You know, you've been, even last season, every single comment you've made about me has been derogatory. And I'm sure Tiffany was probably thinking, what the fuck is this woman on? Like, really? Like, okay. And she's like, look, because she was talking about her accomplishments since leaving the show, because she's now a captain herself. And, you know, she's like, how do you go from being a third stew to a captain? And she's like, bitch, just because I was new to yachting doesn't mean that I was new to being on a boat. Snap, right there. That was, okay, all right, Miss Thing. You know, she's like, and who signed off on your hours? And she's like, you know what? I was just trying to list my accomplishments, and I wasn't trying to pull down anything that you did. So can we have a truce? And Captain Sandy responded with the, like, of course, Tiffany, blah, blah, blah. Like, it was very condescending, and it was very patronizing. That's the word I'm looking for. It was very patronizing. That was kind of it. They haven't really had any interaction since then, but I was watching the whole time. I'm sorry about the shadow. I'm trying to keep the shadow away, but the way the lighting is in this hotel room, it's kind of funky. So I'm sure everyone that was on the show and on either show on any season was watching the whole time going, because even though because they never interacted on the show. You know, Tiffany was season 1, Captain Sandy was seasons 2 and 3. So they never have, I don't even know if they've ever even met. Probably not. So anyways, I hate that shadow. God. Okay. Sorry. It's just my one hand is getting tired. I'm not used to this old school shit of holding the camera like this. This is kind of crazy. Okay. So this week, Hannah was deliriously tired, and oh my God, the guest this week that I just watched, out of control, like literally out of control, like not being, like, I get that you're on a super yacht, you know, but first of all, are you really paying for that super yacht, or is production paying for that super yacht? I'm sure I have no doubt that you leave the tip, but So if you're paying for it, that's one thing. But even still, that's kind of the way that they were was kind of rude. But if they're not paying for it, then there is especially no excuse for the way that they behaved. I mean, they were, and I never really call out charter guests. I mean, there are times when I agree with the crew on a lot of what happens. However, I never am like they're awful people. This was pretty bad. This was pretty horrible. And they just had them, I mean, like, yeah, it was pretty bad. And then they left a shit tip. So it was really, frustrating. And I can see, so anyway, so Hannah was delirious. And this one bitch got a birthday cake and she didn't like the candles. So Hannah finds these sparklers that were from the last provision. And she's like, what am I going to do? So she lights one and it works. And so they put it on the cake and they walk it through the cabin. Well, inside the boat, those sparklers turned on the fire alarm. And Captain Sandy freaked the fuck out. She gets up and she's like, Hannah, don't you ever do that again or you're fired. Like, she was so pissed off. And at the end of the episode, she actually apologized to Anna. She's like, you know what, Hannah, she's like, I'm really sorry. I reacted a little bit strongly. And I shouldn't have, so I apologize for that. Because she was recounting the last time she had a on-cabin fire was on the Red Sea. And she had pirates, and like they it's what's funny is I remember in real life that there was a situation of a boat being taken by pirates, but I thought that was a male captain and that not Tom Cruise, what's his name? Tom Hanks played him in a movie. I don't remember what the name of it was, but Tom Hanks plays everyone. God bless Tom Hanks. I fucking love Tom Hanks. So I'm not, but maybe that was fictionalized and it was actually Captain Sandy. I don't know. Or maybe it happened to her too? I'm not sure. I'll have to research that. But, God, now that's going to irritate me. I'm going to have to look up what that movie is. So, I mean, I appreciated that Captain Sandy apologized to Hannah. I thought that was good. Okay, anyways, I'm done talking about the show, but it is so good. I could talk about this show literally for hours. I love it so much. But, this is only a 10 minutes-ish show. Anyways, thank you so much for logging on today. I do appreciate it. Please feel free to follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat at Angel Benton. You can hashtag Below Deck Med, or you can also, to talk Below Deck Med, or you can also hashtag Indoor Boys to do that next. God damn it, I don't make any sense. You can also hashtag Indoor Boys to talk about Indoor Boys because I'm doing that next. And you can hit that subscribe button on my YouTube channel to get my YouTube videos sent to your email inbox every single day. Alrighty, everyone, have a wonderful day. Peace out. Wubba, wubba, wubba.